I think you outlined everything really good about who's in contention for the most prize money, or to say, you know, we won this. That's got to give you all of the confidence. But what I'm worried about are those bubble teams, right? The top 25 are going to be advancing, but the bottom 25 are going to drop back down and be forced to go through qualifiers on the next stage to in-game open and take on the top 25 from that. And as we inch closer, you can see Team FIFA Kill, they've worked their way up to 11th. They're pretty much going to be okay at this point because there's only one game. But Control, they were in 25th place prior to map number 5. They've moved themselves up to 18th, so that's got to feel really good. But now that we look at our bubble teams, Team Benny Central, Team Benoji, Apex, Bergs, Pigna, these are the teams that are going to have to put it all on the line because it's going to come down to mere decimals.
Yeah, let's be very clear too. There's like 6 points separating 27th and 21st. Like anyone can move up and down that bubble list. I would argue anyone in from 15th all the way down to like 35th has an opportunity to qualify or not qualify. So a lot of opportunities for a lot of teams. Everyone's trying to make it. Some teams are trying to make it big with a lot of cash.
Hey, and that's the question. Who's going to come out on top at the end of game number 6? Chat, I've got to ask you, is it going to be Team Jukeyz? Is it going to be Team Wars? Or will it be someone else? I guess we'll have to find out because game number 6 is here, baby.
In general is here, and we have a fairly central zone. Tiff, the old guard won out yesterday. The top 5 earners from North America won out in the top 3. Today, 2 of the old guard, Wars and Jukeyz, they're at the top. The old guard is winning. This is a reminiscent of Verdansk. The big question is, where's FIFA Kill, the top earner in EU, just outside of the top 10 currently? Will game 6 be their breakout game, or will somebody in the new guard make it into the podium?
I mean, just outside the top 10 really isn't bad either, but the team that wanted to go back to back with the wins on your screen right now, and the one that's currently looking to unseat our top of the leaderboard, Lenun, you just heard him in that interview, and honestly, he was dancing well. Look, imagine what's going to happen if they win.
Yeah, I would love to see the celebration of that one. I don't know if we could turn the audio on for being broadcast because, well, it might get a little frisky, but I do respect the celebrations from that squad. Always good to see Lenun smiling and having a lot of fun. Feels like the good old days, albeit I think some of the teams hope it's not the good old days and they can kind of carve a new path for themselves. And speaking of some of those teams and some of the new guard, I mean, a lot of people, even from the EU side, are not recognizing a lot of these teams because they're coming from the qualifiers. They have little no earnings to their name. We've talked about some of these teams before. Those are the teams that just could be you, right? Like all you have to do is work your way through the stage qualifiers. There's the in-game open into the custom calls. It's possible. This could be you on main stage. Make sure you check out stage 2 open calls. That's coming up soon, only about a month away. But we'll see what's happening in map number 6, Tiff, because so much pressure, so much burden of responsibility on some of these teams. See Physic on your screen right now. They would love to make sure they qualify by dropping a pretty solid game here. Just means it saves them the headache of trying to work through custom calls that are pretty difficult as well. Some of these teams biting at the bit. Ooh, there's one on the bridge.
Stay out of H5 if you don't want to encounter Team Jukeyz, or do feed them eliminations. Jukeyz already on 1. Not a bad start. Physic still trying to find Nova. Not able to do so just yet. Nova's like, I'm going to lay prone. I don't want nothing to do with y'all. Just go on, bide your own time.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's like, I feel like Jukeyz seems kind of like Gladiator at this point. Like, are you not entertained? Like, why are we just standing there arms wide open saying, come to us in H5? At this point, people have got to know that don't go there. You lose. It's just simple facts, at least today. Maybe in the past you've won out, but not today. Trust me. Gromalok, one of our other teams near the top, looking to potentially increase their odds and increase their cash prize. They've qualified. There's no question about it. Question is, where do we go from here? Can we make a little extra change in our pocket, and maybe a few eliminations will help them on that path? Might have to hunt down the squad 20.
Not a bad start, though. They're clearly able to grab some cash, force the issue, make teams run from them. But if teams are going to keep running and you're not getting those eliminations, it can be tough. But you're right. Team Aydan currently in third overall with 114 points, just about, you know, 20-ish points out. I don't know how math works, Gosh. I'm like, get 20. You need north of 20 points in this game to unseat Wars, and you need Wars to potentially falter early.
That's right. Consistency has been king. Teams at the top have been everything, including consistent. Everything's gone their way. They've outscored North America, or at least have an opportunity to do so for the most part. Teams at the top of North America are scoring about 130. Teams are already there going into the last map. So if we have a decent map, highest scores will go to the side of the EU. What does that mean? I don't know. That's up for the chat to decide, and I don't want to be there when the chat's deciding.
Nah, you never know what's gonna happen there. It's usually like, hey, where's my drops? Well, hey, hopefully you're getting them. You've only got a little bit left to go. We're on game number 6, so you better claim them in your drops and inventory and physics. Claiming Nova, finally.
Nice little shotgun kill from distance, a little aid from his teammate. Gonna keep watching out for these strongholds. This is the key to your success. Have you played Warzone Ranked? Because we gotta get these strongholds, get our resources, get our loadout, and then start frying. Need those kills in Ranked to progress. Need those kills in the World Series of Warzone to progress. Several things banned. You know what's not banned? Bullying your opponents. Another elimination there from Panty going down.
No interrogation just yet, but we've got that overall standings on your right side of the screen. Team War still at the top. Jukeyz just underneath them. Vetrix on your screen overlooking that stronghold. Tomatis looks to have some ground loot in hand. A Cronin Squall in for Vetrix. Already have 2 eliminations. Make that 3 because Physics got 1 as well. Not a bad start.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same. Not a bad start at all. 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. It's a great way to start your beginning game. Though it's nice when you can grab at least some plates off. Again, Be Groovy is one of those teams that I thought might come alive in this tournament. It was definitely a super dark horse and had the opportunities. Be Groovy was the 2nd highest slayer during the custom quals. Team got about 11th or so in the qualifiers, but could have been a breakout tournament for them. It doesn't seem like that's the case unless map 6 is a banger. And I was looking at FIFA kill score too. If the old guard truly were to sweep and all of the top earners were at the top of the leaderboard in both regions, FIFA kills team would need about a 60 to 65 point game and hope that Gromalok squad doesn't score all that much. So gonna be pretty difficult to unseat Gromalok from 3rd, if not Gromalok's team dropping a banger and creeping their way into one of those top 2 positions.
Yeah, I feel like our top 3 are pretty solidified, but it all depends on where they're going to end up. I think that they will end in the top 3, but who is going to come first? I don't know. I'm ready to see, but War is on your screen. Your current leaders set up pretty nicely, have that revive pistol, have score streaks in hand, and they're over. This is Marshlands, and Jukeyz is on your left, taking on 2 members.
He's on 5 already?
Bruh.
Make it 6?
What did you eat this morning, Jukeyz? I need to know. What was the breakfast? What was the lunch? What was your day like? Because you were just enacting vengeance on this entire lobby.
I'm less concerned about what he's eating and who's feeding him. Like, well, he's getting fed so many kills. Now, maybe he has the majority of the kills for his team, grabbing, you know, a poke or 2 to find an elimination. But even still, 5, even as a team this early, a fantastic start. It will set you up for success well, especially with how many eliminations we've seen come through in those in circles. Talked about the early rotates. You can pick up a lot of kills if you do it. Rakes is able to rotate over on FIFA kill. A couple drill charges should finish him off.
And that's the importance of a drill charge, right? Even with the self-res that FIFA had, no one was able to smoke him out. And even if they did or try to get to him, they're not going to be able to beat that drill charge to final that kill up. But War is back on your screen, pushing the issue, trying to take out Piotr Kad on the other side. And that's one of our bubble teams that needed to perform well, and Wars is about to cut their chances in half.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's 1. Make it 2, potentially. Wars going to hunt down his opponent. Maybe. Oh, just gonna let King AJ do it instead. AJ's gonna solo that. AJ's gonna win that. I'll take AJ in any gunfight. I can take him in. Tiff, I was gonna say, usually we talk about the teams that play spoiler, the teams down at the bottom of the leaderboard that play spoiler to some of the teams at the top. I think it might be the other way around. I think the teams at the top are playing spoilers to teams that are trying to qualify. Like, this is just brutal.
It is really tough when the top 3 on the leaderboard are essentially point sponging or kill sponging here today, because they're just running around eviscerating everyone that they come across, and no one can really get their footing. Once you hit that quote unquote safety net of the gulag and burn it, if you can't get out of the gulag, then you force your team, who's maybe a solo or a duo, to do it to them.
Oh, yeah, we'll take this. Great high ground position, but not a lot of shots. Was running out of time, running out of patience, ran out of their life as well. A duo on the other side have lost FIFA kill on this side. This is actually a bit of revenge to make it a 2-2 split. A quick buyback, though, means it's going to be 3-2 if they can get back into the fight. We're going to continue to swing over and check out some of our other teams. Going to show Showstopper again. They've had a great tournament. A team that was a little bit under the radar, currently still situated in 6th place. They've been hanging out here on their squad number for the most part for most of the tournament. Very beginning, they were about 8. Now they're on 6. They're very consistent. They could have a breakout game here and breach into the top 5 if everything goes their way.
Duo on your screen, currently in 4th place, looking to try and make a play for the top 3, but you said it best, they need a massive game here, but they should already have that level of comfort that we've sealed our ticket onto the next stages. We can do whatever we want.
Nice little buyback there on FIFA kill. He's going to be flying back in, and if Wiz can get out with his life as well, that's a nice take. This is why they've been fighting this team for so long, is they've been fighting around a buy station. That's such a classic... Oh, a little scared there. It's such a classic fight here in Warzone 2, is we fight around buy stations and customs because they're crucial to your success, player advantage. You've heard me say it 1,000 times. You're probably tired of it, but it's super important. If you've got player advantage, you're likely going to have a larger chance of winning gunfights. You got to buy back your teammates, get them back into the lobby. Give them a chance. King AJ, nice snapshot. See you later. Lockman to clean it up, potentially. Might leave him out to dry for a moment as bait.
My man was frolicking through the street and just gets deleted. That is what I am here for. King AJ is going to be lighting up the timeline later. Everyone's going to be talking about him as if they already hadn't, based on prior performances. Currently staying on 3 eliminations, flying down, trying to join Warzone, who's already grabbed the kill. But he was like, no, man, I want more.
Both of our top 2 teams in particular not relenting. Pedal to the metal. They want to win because the difference is $9,000. This is a $9,000 game of Warzone, potentially more for the top 2 teams, if not the top 3. So everyone's going to be slaying out, whether it's like pubs or whether it's customs. However they're feeling good. And yet again, continue to be contested over in this POI. Jukeyz is having a ball.
Quad 30
Nice.
as well. Good shots, but Joewo going to be last alive, checking in with Tactical Brit, Jaff, and Chunk as they make their way in. Primza, Robstar, and Benny waiting on the member of their team to join back in, and it's going to be Jukeyz trying to take down Primza. They jump down, find him, Visions goes down, but it's okay. Click clean up for them, and Lenon's going to be able to grab the res. But that is, we keep harping on your positioning and how you tactically take these pushes. Having your teammates back, and I'm talking literally on their back,
right,
when you push into these buildings is a game changer. Because had he been maybe 2 to 3 seconds back, still trying to enter that building, it would have looked completely different.
Totally agree. I was looking back on Tactical Brit's positioning, by the way. Currently situated in, I believe, 38. So gonna need a big one. Benny Central not gonna have one as Control and Zamza find it. They certainly need it as well. Another team on the bubble. These are important takes early. Find your elimination so you can set up for the end game. If you don't have early eliminations, you have to fight the middle game, and that's incredibly difficult if you're fighting edge of zone, working your way in, getting as many picks as you can. And uh-oh, guess who's come to play spoiler? Zamza looking to be in trouble from a former teammate, actually, of some kill races back in the day with Jukeyz squad.
This is going to be so tough. You can see that Jukeyz loadout is right there. So is Control's, but you don't have the player advantage, as you would say. You're stuck inside a building. We've seen just how well Lenun and Vision can tactfully take a building. Lay siege to it. Jukeyz is already on the roof. So now you have an F-Tac siege, 63 bullets in the mag. You're utilizing the only drill charge that you have. You have to knock on to Jukeyz, but hey, you didn't check your door, my guy, and they are going to enter from all different ways. And Control trying to stay alive for the team. Smoke and run. Jukeyz got rezzed.
the composure from this squad in the face of danger. Control is getting out. Hopefully we'll see him get out and continue their pathway to potentially qualifying. Needs to fly fast though, because the hunters, they breached and cleared perfectly. Perfect trades, staying alive, no one even getting dropped, no one needing to get bought back. It's a quick revive and we're right into it. Jukeyz squad looking very comfortable. Look at this fight. This is a fun one. We've got a couple teams down below, but in particular 44 versus 50. This is a much harder fight to take. That verticality is going to be an issue, and it likely will go on for a while. So let's check out our other team at the top, Team Wars. 4 eliminations on the side of Wars himself. King AJ with a couple as well. That's 7 currently shown. Prodigy might have already put them up to double digits if things are going the way we think they are. Where do we go from here, though?
We go back to Jukeyz to see what they're up to. Calling it a portable buy station. They have taken the high ground, and Team 24 methods underneath them. Looks like a duo, so once again, maybe some easy pickings. Vision still on 4 to make that 5 total, not counting Jukeyz. This could be another big map for them.
Take a look at the map, Tiff, as we're taking a look at where the teams are at. A lot of teams favoring the south hand side, but Team Jukeyz, yet again, their early eliminations, yet someone has let them just walk their way to the middle of the map, set up perfectly for the end. They have enough eliminations already. They use the mid game, grabbed a couple kills along the way, might I add, but use the mid game to set up. This is the building they want, and they want to clear it before the rest of the teams get here.
Goj, their drop spot POI is still in zone. They literally just had to cross over 1 grid point and they're in the dead center of zone. We talk about dangerous rotations. They didn't even have to make one, but King AJ looking to go back to back and find some sick shots as they take on Team 37. He wants more than 3 eliminations, and we know he's capable of it. That team trying to fly away, hit him for shields, cannot get the down though.
I see so many teams run up against Wars squad or Jukeyz squad, and everyone just runs away. Now, I know they don't necessarily know it's them immediately. People run away. This team, though, pushing the equation. Should be a nice flank here from the side. This is what happens when you get overconfident, taking shots from distance, not thinking about your surroundings. The single flare was shot up in the air. Guess who's going to come knocking? It's Team Showstopper. Nice zoning off with the drill charges, Tiff, but Showstopper's team was able to grab 1. And now Wars and Prodigy are split, separated. Prodigy might like it, though, for the flank. Would love to answer back from the outside.
Here we are, looking to see if they're able to take this fight, utilizing all the score streaks they could possibly throw at them. Oh, they don't have to move too far, though. The ring is going to end just there, so Prodigy still has the ability to kind of wrap. But the question is, how many smokes do they have? Do they have drill charges? If they got any ammunition boxes, they could throw it down. But Floozy, looking on the sides of Gromalok, that's a scary fight.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a very tough fight, especially when Team 36 is creeping up from behind, looking to grab a piece of this action. Whether they know it or not, they're jumping into some serious action. Be Groovy would love it, though. They need a banger map to move up this leaderboard. They're going to be in for a rude awakening when the team they're trying to fight is Heeds and Gromalok, but they have the player advantage. It may not matter, though. 1 goes down. Quirky swarming in to play the trades. Groovy on the outside. Quirky goes in, finds a little bit of some hits, elects to play the outside. He's going to push another team. Maybe doesn't even know that they're there.
There's no way.
See ya.
Bro, they had that building on lock, prone on either side, a KB broadside in hand, and Gromalok just on the outskirts. They know there's players in there now. Their cover's been blown, and hey, they've got drill charges. They're gonna force the issue, but that broadside's gonna get the best of Gromalok, deleted and sent. Can Aydan, the team captain here, keep the team alive and rid the world of Floozy?
To grab 1 of them, so there's 1 running away. Prodigy and Wars getting better of their opponents this time around. Showstopper in trouble, seemingly caught fighting potentially another team, or maybe just lost one on the rotation to cover. I'm not sure. And now King AJ enacting its quick and swift revenge against Nyamfo and Showstopper. Having lost Tamaki, they are pinned down, Tiff. And yes, Wars team needs to rotate to them, but I don't think Wars' squad is worried about this rotation at all, because they can just fly over to the top of the roof.
You are a prediction. You know, of course, King AJ is going to be the one that opens up that initial engagement, takes the roof, looks to get a pick, but a mortar strike being called in is going to be that defensive structure. It's going to go in. Will we see any knocks or damage? Nah, King AJ able to get out with his life, but there are teams, if you look to the mini map, that are going to be hearing all the engagements here and maybe wanting to get a little pick of this because they're outside the zone. Team 44, that's going to be Team Apex. They are a bubble team, currently 27th place on the overall leaderboard. This could be the perfect opportunity for them.
Yeah, it's two kind of opposing strategies. Warzone squad hunting the edge of zone, trying to take out some of the teams on the edge. Jukeyz squad already dead center. And somebody else gets the better of King AJ, I believe that went down. Or rather, I don't know which one it was. Yeah, I think it was King AJ. Got sniped from a totally different squad. I think it was Team 44 down the hill a little bit. Nice shot. Hey, you'll take him where you can get them. Snipers in hand. They're going to find a couple of limbs, hopefully.
They are so dangerous if you just have these engagements that take way too long. They keep looking at you, but hey, Squad 31 over here seems to be fragging out Team Shucks. They've got the high ground. They're overlooking and trying to ruin as much as they can, but they're sitting on top of Tactical Brit, and they're just sitting aside like, no, we don't want to peek just yet. Don't push this issue.
Yeah, I think Shucks is currently sitting in 11th, so likely they will qualify. Would just like to break into some more of that cash and might do it with this map. They're looking great. I think it was 8 on the side of one of their snipers, but Joewo, Ixion, also a fantastic day thus far. 4th place, about where everybody thought they would be going into this last map. Could make a breakout map to break into top 3, but it'll be difficult. Prodigy goes for the wrap, the rotate, flying down by himself, and I think makes it, at least for now. And to keep an eye out, Joewo's squad got a pretty good one going, 4 or 5 apiece, hopefully. Would love a couple more though.
It's your favorite scope goes. Let's see what we can do with it. That smoke is going to keep that player alive. You can see him enacting the 5Ds of dodgeball. Meanwhile, Joewo over here working his way left. They've entered the next area of zone. Wars and Co still outside, but Team 44, they did decide to push up. Now, mind you, they are on the bubble. Team Apex is going to have to make something happen. They cannot go out here because it probably wasn't enough.
And Prodigy's gonna hold a solo versus a duo. Gas mask battle finds them rotating. One looking for the second. The second will hang out in the zone for a while to play cover. It's a great strategy to let KZUR make it into the next zone. I think Prodigy read it like a book, but may not have time to stay alive. Mortar strike coming in, everything in between. In trouble. 44, nice wrap rotate. Prodigy should be able to clean the one up that he knocked. Might just want to make sure he gets to zone first.
Using his loadout as cover. Kaiser playing ring around the rosy at this point. This is so scary. I'm telling you, Warzone at times is a horror game. You never know which window, doorway they're going to be hiding behind or popping out of. And Prodigy probably just trying to use sound cues, but he is going to have to move.
Right around the corner. Peekaboo, one from behind. Hey, it's Aaron, grabs a pick from distance. See you later, alligator. We're gonna see wars in the lobby. However, still an okay map. Will it be enough when you've got this squad staring down your back by 7 points going into the map? All 3 alive, still dead center of zone. I'm gonna say likely not enough, Tiff.
Bro, I just slammed my desk. I was like, what the heck is happening? Vision and Jukeyz prediction is on point. They have the roof. Jukeyz about to be on double-digit eliminations. This is mirroring his performance from map number 1. Then they go back and win map number 5. Imagine they win 3 of our 6-game series.
Certainly plausible, if not reasonable to assume. Now, the zone pull does force them off most of their building. They might have one edge they can hold on to, which I certainly would hold on to because the next zone's going to move and it might move back to you. So we'll see. You're okay letting some of these kills go. You need this lobby weeded out. You want top 10 for the multiplier and hopefully top 5. With the zone where it's at, hold on to the building. The only worry is some of those PAs or clusters might have to move you off. You might have to jump down. You're gonna see some drill charges to hopefully grab a knock through the wall, but Jukeyz would love to pick up a couple of these. Already on 9, Vision already on 7. That's at least 16 without Lenun at all. And I think Lenun's sitting on at least 4 or 5.
Oh my gosh, and they're looking down. Robstar, Aydan right there, your third place team coming into this match. They wanted to make a play for first place, but they're getting eaten alive in physics. Gonna try to rotate in throughout the water, praying for a durable gas mask, but this is just like leading lamb to the slaughter here.
Oh, KV Broadside is finding another victim, and down below, the teams at the top are slaying out. Aydan, Gromalok, Heeds also in the equation here in the final top 10. We're down to 8 total squads, and our first place squad potential, yep, I believe they've officially passed them according to our on-screen unofficial leaderboard, over by a point no matter what happens from here. The team in third also trying to pass Wars. Could the best game of the day be surpassed by 2 teams in the final moments of map 6? And then on the other side, our bubble squads. We're looking at Louis. We're looking at Ghoul hiding out there. Team 31 also alive. There's a couple of these squads vying for some extra cash and a spot in stage 2. Tiff, this is coming down the wire, but Team Jukeyz looking the best by far.
Gromalok, Aydan and co trying to rotate in. Vision doing a good job of keeping Joewo at bay. Not going to be able to take the water, Showstopper, because we see you here. And Jukeyz on 13, Vision on
Unreal.
9. Can they best their massive performance from game number 5? Well, they have to keep pushing forward, right? Showstopper making a play for that early rotation in the water, and none of these players are going to be prepared and have that F-Tac siege. So you can see how Vision is going to take high ground on the bridge.
You've got 4 teams left. Easy advantage on the side of Jukeyz. One goes down. That's free. Showstopper still floating. He's still alive for his team. The Stuos re-wrapped early over to the edge of zone. This is just about placement and potentially picking up 1 elimination if they can. Well, Stuo in trouble. Tiff, this is about as close as it gets to just calling it a wraps already. Gromalok's got the float, which means they're going to grab some extra placement points potentially, but we're already inside the top 5, which means we're looking at the highest placement points you can get multiplier-wise, aside from, of course, first place. And who could get it? Maybe Stuo. Ixion, they found weapons. They found Visions. They found Visions dead, but a trade from behind. No, it's not Jukeyz squad. It's Gromalok with the pistol.
Gromalok was floating, drops down, and keeps Vision alive. He's able to hit the self-res, makes it into zone. We have 3 players left. 1v1v1. Gromalok can clutch this. Now, mind you, they were 3rd place coming into map number 6. Jukeyz was originally in 2nd place. Now, the question is, how is this going to end?
Ixion squad looking for some extra cash. This could be a monumental fight. One goes down. Jukeyz squad eliminated. They've likely won the tournament, but this could be for 2nd place depending. Gromalok team, if they win it for the 2 times multiplier, yes! Gromalok with the ice cold fades in the clutch at the end. Clutch or kick. Gromalok says clutch. A fantastic performance. Sneaking in a pistol kill, grabbing the loadout weapon, and winning the game. Heeds, Gromalok, Aydan win the final map of the day. Did they stop the bleeding for Jukeyz squad? Not enough for Jukeyz squad not to win, but did they do enough to take 2nd place over Team Wars, Tiff? That's the big question in my mind.
Hey, all questions that will have to be answered. We have once again another dual map victor. So let's go ahead and run it back. See what that last victory moment looks like, because it's pretty tense here.
Tiff, you can only imagine Gromalok's going to celebrate in a massive way. He knows he did everything he could in this final moment to set his team up for success. I'm just excited to see how many points they ended up with. Here's that final fight. I love the live ping through the bush. You gotta try to find him. It's one way to do it. See ya. Ooh, pretty big game. 34 points in total. Nice celebration. Gromalok, great guy. I had a chance to meet him in person. Congratulations on the win, Grom. You earned that spot on Omit. You're a brand new org, and you earn your spot into the podium here in the World Series of Warzone EU Stage 1 Finals. Tiff, what a way to finish for Gromalok and co. I still don't know if it's enough, but an amazing map nonetheless. 34 points in total.
I mean, that's huge. We had a lot of solid games here, some brilliant action. We got tidbits of Warzone, but in the end, we all know that all of these spots are not given, they are taken, and you will have to fight map after map, stage after stage until you are at that global LAN. But these teams, one step closer.
I know, it's crazy. What a great day of Warzone. 6 maps done, dusted, and that's all she wrote for us folks at home. So much fun casting all of the action. Tiff, any final words for the broadcast before we send it off? Because we won't be back till stage 2, I think. So excited about that, but close it out for us.
Hey, thank you so much for having me a part of the World Series of Warzone presented by Prime Gaming. I hope you guys at home had fun and are enjoying the podcast or the new way of viewing as much as we are. Thank you guys so much.
series of Warzone Stage 1 EU Regional Qualifiers presented by Pride Gaming. That's 6 games done with. That means we just need to tally the scores to see who ended up in first place. And Dream, what a way to end the day. NA was great yesterday, don't get me wrong, but EU today was electrifying. The battle between the top 3 teams was incredible, and it's still going on as we tally the scores. But I think we might have a new kill leader, but also we might even have a new first place team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, who would have thought, right? Because I know some speculation on regions like, oh, EU's a lot slower, but I saw a lot of speed today. And I mean, another double winner. Like, come on, that's insane.
I know, and I'm glad you pointed that out because we do have another double winner. The first one was Jukeyz winning Game 1 and Game 5. The second one was Team Aydan winning Game 4 and Game 6. What a way to end. And Enigma, with that win from Aydan and co, that might very well be enough to pass up Wars.
Yeah, it might indeed. We're waiting to find out, right? With bated breath. We're pretty certain on who's won the whole thing, but we are waiting very much to find out how that all calculates for Aydan and co against Wars and co. And I mean, it looks like it's going to come down to perhaps like 2 kills, which is insane. But the seeing teams pick up multiple wins is ridiculous. There are 50 incredible trios in this lobby. So many things. We've all played Warzone. We know how it goes. So many things can go against you. So many things to try and roll in your favor. To see teams pick up 2 custom lobby wins within 6 is ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And the way that Jukeyz, and I know we're looking at Aydan and co, and I mean, seriously, congrats, big win and an opportunity to overtake Wars and take second place, which is crazy to say because Wars for me was a lock for first. Now, all of a sudden, they might not even be first. They might not even be second at this point because of how Jukeyz and Gremlin, excuse me, at the end performed. But let's talk about the position from Jukeyz and co in that circle number 6, right, Dream? Because they take up pretty much one of the biggest buildings and only buildings in the very end, and they stay at the top, and they take it and they end up just slaying out consistently.
Yeah, and quite often you'll have some teams that, like, you know, they'll land in the same spot every time or they'll play circle. But when it comes to Jukeyz squad, it's like they always were in the center of zone, or at least the highest, you know, point in the of having like the building high ground. And it's like they were always in key perfect positionings to be in that top 3 spot. And you know, it is unfortunate sometimes. I know, at least with the Dream Team, with FIFA's squad, you know, it's unfortunate. Like, I feel like a lot of teams knew exactly where they landed and avoided them. So if you know where those heavy hitter teams are, I mean, what greater way to avoid them? They have to hunt for kills, and it's going to put them in a dire spot.
This was Lenun on your screen picking up that 2v1. That was your map 1 winners. Jukeyz, that's where we had a chance to talk to Jukeyz after. He said, look, we're not looking to qualify. We are looking to win this whole thing, and he very well could have done that. Now, game 2, though, we saw a different winner, and map 2 was Valvin and co. Ended up taking this one, Enigma, and a good team, right, and a good win, honestly, to set the pace as we were only into game 2 at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking here a lot about our Jukeyz, our Wars, our Aydans, all massive names. The 3 gents here are not necessarily names that anyone's going to write off for winning a map. So we've spoken about it multiple times this afternoon. The World Series of Warzone is designed not just to showcase the best talent, but also the best up-and-comers. By winning a map here in your Stage 1 European Finals, you certainly become a part of that conversation. It's whether or not they can now take that into the next stage, build on it, and really show what they've learned by playing against the best.
Valvin, Zeit, Rizway, an impressive map number 2, taking the victory and moving forward to map number 3. And this is where we saw one of our teams that we've been talking about consistently throughout game 3 all the way to game 6, Dream, and that was Wars and co. And this was a powerful game. We had a chance to talk to Wars in a wonderful interview, kind of, you know, pick his brain a little bit. The addition of King seems to have been a big positive addition.
Yeah, right. And that was right before too, like when we were talking about them, I was like saying, hey, watch out for Kings. He's picking up those early eliminations. And I mean, that's one of the things that Goj was talking about. You set yourself up for success if you can get those early elims and then kind of slow it down towards the late game. So, I mean, this was insane, especially with how much chaos was going from start to finish, but having that early rotation, of course, and that pull on their side, and of course, winning your ones. These guys, just from start to finish, absolutely dominated this game number 3.
And that was a 60-point game. I mean, that was incredible. Like I said, only matched yesterday, I believe, a 64-point game on the NA side. EU literally almost podiumed in all aspects of stats, whether it be top eliminations, back-to-back games, or just overall performance. But NA at least got one of them. We move forward to game number 4, and this is where we saw Aydan take their first game of the day, Enigma. They were already in the conversation, but I think more so in the conversation after this game 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I called them a dark horse at the start of the afternoon. I think I'm being a bit kind on myself there. These three are ridiculous. I mean, they come second in last year's European World Series of Warzone Trios. They'd lose by, I believe it was half a point at the time. So they've certainly got the caliber. We know the quality they possess. Aydan has a very quiet qualifier by his standards, and he was only going to step it up from there. So no surprise to see these three gents fighting it out towards the end. They spoke a lot about how the practice coming into this was about making sure the team chemistry was on point. They removed shotguns and snipers, for example, from their loadout to make sure they all had synergy, and boy, did it pay off.
It definitely did. Gromelok was instrumental in the Game 6 victory we just witnessed a little bit ago in that 1v1v1 situation. Well done from him. And then we move forward to game number 5, and this is where we saw Jukeyz and co make a reappearance, right? And this was Jukeyz, one of Jukeyz anyways, biggest gains for me, 14 eliminations. I loved watching this observatory fight through and through, Dream.
Oh my gosh, indeed. And one of the things I just love watching about even Jukeyz's team in general is that they're not easily intimidated by tough situations, and they're very reactive, and kind of like how Jukeyz says, this man on your screen, Visions, he keeps that composure in these crazy scenarios, even to the fact that just being able to hold on to get into that top 3 spot, like without your teammates, that is huge. And I mean, we see some of the reasons why Jukeyz obviously had picked him up. Jukeyz and Lenun obviously picked him up. He is the vibes are super positive, and I mean, you can see it in the gameplay, because that was chaos even to stay alive right there to top 3.
And Lenun in his interview said he was dancing after that Game 5 victory. If he gets first place, I couldn't imagine what he's going to be doing. But speaking of standings, it looks like they are official. Let's get them up on screen and see who took first place, who took it all. Was it in fact Jukeyz? Did Wars lock in that second place? And Jukeyz does get the first by a mile, it seems, 30 or so points. Well done. Wars barely hanging on to second just by 3 points. And then Aydan and co with Gromelok's game number 6 victory managed to lock in third place. Enigma, that's your top 3.
It is indeed, and we've spoken about the names throughout this afternoon. You talk about King AJ there with that ridiculous 17-kill game. Jukeyz and co win 2 games. Aydan and co win 2 games. So it's not a surprise to see that top 3, but what has to be heartbreaking if you're Aydan, Gromelok, and Heeds is missing out on second place, and that's what, a $5,000 swing, I think?
Yeah.
Missing out on that second place by 3 points. That is brutal. I mean, what? I mean, that's an extra 2 kills in one of your maps, really, realistically talking placement points, and you get it. So very close, but congratulations to all 3 teams. They've been insane this afternoon.
Yeah, from what I was hearing, Lenon's mom was actually with him on his stream waiting for results, so I know she's going to be ecstatic when she sees that. Dream, we look at 11th through 20th. What do we see? Because I looked out at Benny Central. I'm glad they qualified at 19th.
Yeah, and I wanted to point out too, I wasn't sure just on the previous, because like it wasn't Team Ghoul like in like the 20th, 7th, 8th something spot, and they completely jumped up, I believe, to 10th. But some of those qualifying teams able to make it through, of course. And yeah, Proers and still kind of holding that 12th spot. They did go from 6th to 12th, but still at least able to qualify. That is amazing to see, as well as FIFA Kill, who kind of heard they had a bad game 1, they had a bad game 6, but just a couple adjustments needed to be made, and maybe a different particular landing spot for some of these squads. I can only imagine just figure out what they need to do to inch their way towards that top spot. But I mean, overall, like the closeness in points in like just from 21st to 25th, just every single bracket just close by a margin, even ties all around.
That's right, and 25th place is going to be Control and Co. We've been watching them since, or at least I was watching them on the stat line, the leaderboard, and thinking, will they make it in the top 25? They barely make it there, just less than a point over that of Don Cacklin, another popular player. Jukeyz also there, so well done for the top 25. If they were the bubble teams, unfortunately, they miss out on the money. They're going to have to drop back down into the second qualifier in stage 2. but you're going to be seeing them again. I am sure of it. But you know what? Let's bring in Jukeyz once again. We had him at the start of the show. We have him at the end of the show. Jukeyz.